Hello, gentlemen. Okay, so I have about half of you here, so I'm going to start putting attendance in. Okay, Quincy, you have not posted your homework. I'd like to get credit for that. Why don't you post it right in a minute? Okay, go here. Okay, so we have Cole's here, Connie's here, Gina's here. Jacob's here. Quincy is here. Matthew's here. Marina's here. Owen is here. Okay, and we just don't have Charlie. Okay, so I started, Quincy, have you posted that homework? Quincy?
I'm doing it right now.
Okay, because it's due, start a class, so you're already late.
Oh yeah, I did it. I just didn't need. I thought I could submit it like right now.
No. Okay, we've been playing this in the school year, Quincy. Come on. And Charlie hasn't submitted his yet either, and he's not even here yet. Okay, so I looked at only the two homeworks, and we have problems. So let me go into my Notability and pull up the homework. And then I'll share screen and we'll talk about this. Okay, so let me share the screen. Okay, so you want to have yours available to you so that you can check over as we go through this. So first off, so we did all of the first ones together. So everything from 4.1 you should have because we did that together. So let me ask you, do you have any questions on 4.1? Could you handle that on a test, especially the exterior angles? Because that was the one on quiz we had issues with. And we had issues, starting this when we did it together. So exterior angles always equal the sum of the remote interior. So that's what you have to memorize. Okay, so that takes us to the next. Thank you, Quincy. I just got your homework. That takes me to the next page, which is all 4.2. So just to go back quickly, 4.2 is going to be applying congruence to triangles and quadrilaterals. And you have to figure out your your corresponding parts, and you have to be able to write a congruence statement. So the big question is, can you follow directions? Because I was looking at homework and write a congruent statement wasn't done. So I'm not sure how I could have made that clearer. We've been doing this for a while. So a congruent statement is something like this. Okay, that's a congruent statement. So just writing something like all the sides are the same or something like that is not a congruent statement. Okay, so don't confuse a statement in English terms with a math statement. A math statement is going to be this. Okay, so hopefully that clears up that confusion. Okay, so I had some problems with this one as well when I was looking at the homework. So you have to know what they're asking you. So for the first one, because they have the line segment on top of EF, they want you to find another line segment that matches up with that on the corresponding triangle. So because it's always better to use your statement and not to constantly look back at your triangle. Okay. All right, Charlie. Okay. Okay, so Charlie, you're late. This is the second day in a row that you're late. Our class starts at 10:25. What seems to be your problem? Charlie? Let me see if he's on yet. No, I don't see him. Hold on. So let me stop sharing for a second so I can redo this. Okay, Charlie, you're in now. Now Charlie's coming in. Okay, Charlie, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Sorry,
Okay.
I was just having Zoom issues.
Okay, but this is the second day in a row that you're late. Okay, and it's kind of is your MO. So start trying to get on before you have to give yourself some time. Okay. So,
Okay, sorry.
so Charlie, you had not posted your homework. Is it posted now?
Yeah, I just posted it.
Okay, so it's also due at 10:25. Okay, so don't get in the habit of doing these things late because it's gonna, it's gonna stress me out, and it should be stressing you out. So let me take a second and adjust the attendance once again. And then I'll come back to sharing screens. Okay, so coming back here. Okay, so we're going over, Charlie, we're going over the 4.2 section. So that's the second page of the packet. So let me share my screen again, and I'll resume my discussion. Okay, so can everyone see? This is good. So the first one, they're looking for another segment on the other triangle that is congruent to EF. That's what that says to you. So what I would highly suggest that you do is use this statement. EF is the first two letters. That's going to be congruent to OQ. So you would write OQ and you would put a line segment on it. Okay, the next question says, angle P is congruent to what angle in the other triangle? So in this case, angle P is here. It's the last letter. That's going to match up with the last letter here. So that's going to be angle G. Angle F is congruent to what angle in the other triangle? Here is angle F. It's the second letter. Pick the second letter here. Okay, so I'm going to stop for a second. If you're not doing it this way, if you're instead going back to the triangle and trying to match it up there by the way it looks, stop doing that, because you're not going to get these correct. If the orientations of the two triangles are not the same, that's going to mess you up. you're also going to have to spend a lot more time figuring out what you think should be the answer. So please, please, please use the congruence statement to find these. Okay, so that brings us down to the next two questions. The next two questions are asking you something different. Okay, so the next two questions say, what is the measure of angle O? Okay, I had a couple of people write down 9 kilometers. Okay, we never measure angles in kilometers. Okay, angles are in degrees. So don't get confused as to what they're asking you. This is your angle symbol right here. This M stands for measure. They do not want to know which angle lines up with it. They want to know the measure. So now you've got to come over here because I have one measure. That measure is E. So angle E is the first one in the congruency statement. So that has to line up with angle O. So now what I can do is I can go ahead and put this measurement in, and now I'm ready to write down the measurement. Okay, so those of you that had 9 kilometers, you have to revise the way you're thinking about this. This was exactly identical to the quiz on this topic. So you can go back and look at your quiz also if you need more practice with this. Okay, second problem we have is this. You see that OP does not have a line segment symbol. That's not a typo. When it doesn't have a line segment symbol, it's asking you for the length of OP. Okay, you've got to get that in your head as well. That is asking you something in a mathematical way. By not having that line segment symbol on top, they don't want the one that matches up to it. They want the length of OP. So then you come over here and you say, okay, OP on my congruency statement are the first and last letters. I don't see a measurement here, so I can't directly read it off my triangle yet. Look over to the congruency statement again and see if you have a measurement for EG. EG is 9 kilometers. Since EG is 9 kilometers and it lines up with OP, OP has to be 9 kilometers, and that's what they want for the answer. Okay, so I was very disappointed with what I saw for the homework on this. So hopefully I'm clarifying things, because this is why we're doing the review, so that we can bring this back up to your mind. Okay, so let me erase all of this stuff up here. So if they change the order, so the order is GFE, GFE, they are reading this backwards, GFE. Read the other one backwards. It's going to be triangle PQO, and that's how you do that. Okay, anybody have any questions on this? Because ask me if this is not clear. Okay, I don't want you to leave this class today not being able to nail these kind of questions. Okay, so Evan, what do you think about what I just did?
It makes sense.
Okay, so whenever you see that M and you see that angle symbol, they're asking you for the measure of the angle. Okay, don't give me an answer in kilometers, or don't give me an answer in, answer that matches the side. That is an angle question, okay?
All right.
Now, Connie, how are you with this? Is this making more sense?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, good. All right, so then the other problem I had, down here it says write a congruence statement for each figure below, if appropriate. So because this first one, A, all the sides are equal here, and then all the sides are equal here, but they're not equal to each other, I can say that they are not congruent. Okay, I can't say that the sides are the same. All that they have in common are all the angles, and that is not sufficient to show I have congruency. Okay, now this one, the next one, B, what do you think about that? So tell me something about B, Charlie.
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, tell me something about B. That's what we're looking at. Can you write a congruency statement for B? What are you observing about B?
That it's congruent.
All right, so how come you can say that they're congruent? What conclusion did you draw?
The angles are equal.
There's not any information whatsoever about any angles here.
Or
You
not
see
the
any?
not the angles, the
Sides, right?
yeah, the sides.
Yeah, so what I
Like
would
on
do
the-
is I would mark this one up so that you can say, oh yeah, that side has to be equal. That's a reflexive property. When you use it in either the top triangle or the bottom triangle, it has to be the exact same measurement, okay? So what congruency statement do you want to say? So just,
all sides are equal.
that's not a congruency statement, okay? This is a congruency statement. So I need that kind of statement. So what two triangles are you going to put congruent? What letters are you going to use?
ABD equals
Okay.
DBC.
Hold on. So triangle ABD, okay, that's going to be congruent to triangle. So what are you going to say for your letters?
DBA.
DBA, same
DBC.
triangle. DBC. Okay, DBC. Okay, so let's check this out. DBC. By saying ABD, you go down the 2 and then down the common. So by saying DBC, you're not doing that. So you can't say that. Do you see how by saying DBC, you're going down the common and then down the 1? You're not lining them up. Okay, so I need a different answer here. That's not going to work. So if you went down the 2 and then down the common, do you see what I'm doing, Charlie?
Yeah.
I went this way and then this way. You've got to do the same thing. So you've got to go this way and then this way. So you have to call it
CDB.
CDB. Okay? So I would encourage you to put those angles on there, those arrows that I have, so that you are lining things up the same way, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so that brings us down to C. So let's look at that. So let me just see who I have up next. Okay, so who wants to comment on the next one? So we have to figure out if we have congruency and we have to write a statement. Gina, you want to get us started?
Yeah, they're congruent.
Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put 3 hash marks on the common part. So what's going to be your congruency statement?
Triangle TSR, and then
SR, okay, is congruent. And then what's the other one?
TQR.
TQR. Okay, so let's check this out. So TSR, we went down the 1 and then down the 2. So TQR is going down the 1 and down the Q. Bingo. Excellent. Okay, that works. Now you can have different answers than what Gina just said, but you have to follow the same pattern for the top triangle and the bottom triangle. Okay? So next one is D. So Owen, why don't you hop on D? What did you say about D? Are they congruent? And can you get a statement? Owen, my dear. Come in, Owen. Okay, Matthew, you want to hop on instead? You and Earl?
Sure. For which one? D?
D.
What did we have to say for this one? I just said that they were.
Okay, so we've
Oh
done.
yeah, we're just making a congruency statement, right?
Yes, that's what we're doing.
All right. Well, you know you already know it's congruent because they all have the same sides with the lines. So I put DFE. Oh wait, triangle DFE is congruent to triangle ACB.
ACB. Okay, so let's check this out. DFE. DFE goes down the 1 and then up the 2. ACB goes down the 1, up the 2. Bingo, got it. Excellent. Okay, so anybody have any questions about this? Because this is my expectation for you on this. Okay, this isn't the first time through the rodeo here. This is a review of things we've already been quizzed on. So if you're still struggling with this, and if you go back over and you find it still confusing, let me know and I can come and help you with it. Okay, we can do a little special Zoom thing, you and I, for 10 minutes, and we'll get this down. Okay, because you need to be able to do all of this for the quiz. Okay, let's go back up. So any questions for the good of the cause? So now we've done 4.1 and 4.2. So let's go back up to the cover page. And it says prove triangles congruent by side, side, side. Okay, so that is the only thing that's gonna be covered in 4.4. You've got to prove it is congruent by side, side, side. Okay, and I don't think I asked you anything about using the distance formula. So we're just gonna work on the side, side, side. So let's come down here. And here, I guess I'm going to do two things at once. Let me go back up again, because it looks like I'm doing 4, 4, 4, 5, and 4, 6 all at once. So we have all of the ways you can prove things congruent, and there are 5 ways. Side, 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 angle, side, and HL, and angle, side, angle, and angle, angle, side. Okay, so up here on top of our page, I have written all the different ways you can prove it. So I will give you that information on the test as well. Your job is to get to the place where you can figure out if you have those kind of congruencies. Okay, so let's start looking at these. So what do you think about 12? So Gina, coming to you about 12.
HL.
So HL, so did you add any other angle?
Oh yeah, the one on the
The vertical
yeah.
right here? Okay,
Yeah,
so that's
there.
going to be a vertical angle. And because one of them is 90, the other one is 90. Since it is a 90-degree right triangle from both cases, you have the option of HL. So HL tells me that you have to have a hypotenuse the same. We have a hypotenuse is the same, and you have to have a leg the same length. We have that, and so I agree with Gina that that's HL. Okay, look at the next one. So Marina, I'm coming to you. What angle can you add to this? Because they're never going to mark that for you. You have to mark it yourself. So what would you mark?
The ones in the middle, like the-
Yes, because they're vertical angles, right? So I'm going to do those. Now, can you get a congruency?
no.
Well, which one? Should we try some of them? Okay, so it can't be side, 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 because I don't have 3 sides marked. And I can't mark my sides, right? So I can't have that. Okay, how about, can I do side, angle, side? So side, angle, nope, don't have it. I don't have the second angle that would make me have side, angle, side. I would need to have this angle and that angle. And they have not given it to me, so I can't use that. So that's out. Okay, so let me erase what I just wrote there so it doesn't confuse things. Okay, so then let's think about HL. Is this a right triangle?
No.
Nope, can't do it. Okay, I've got 2 more. Angle, side, angle, and angle, angle, side. Angle, side, angle, and angle, angle, side. So can I have angle, side, angle? Angle, side, angle. Nope, I would have needed that. Angle, side, angle. I would have needed those angles. I don't have that, so this is out. Okay, we have one more possibility. Let me get rid of these. That's out. How about angle, angle, side? Angle, angle, side. Start here. Angle, angle, side. Yes. So Marina, you see I can use that one?
Yes.
So that works. Okay, so I do have a congruency. Is everyone okay with that? And you see how I went through my options? So I went through and eliminated things based on what they had given me. So you want to get in the habit of doing that. Okay, so that brings us to 14. So let's go back up to Evan. So Evan, come look at 14 with me. What are you
All
seeing?
right.
Is there anything, are there some angles I can add?
To the far left and far right of the triangles.
How can you add those?
Um,
Look for the vertical angles. Do you see where the vertical angles are, honey?
yeah.
They're right here, right? Here and here?
Yeah.
So you can mark those. So if you mark those, can you then establish congruency? So we can
Yeah.
go through. So what are you going to use?
Um,
Here are your options. You want to go through and just eliminate things? So do you have three?
yeah.
Do you have 3 sides marked? I only have one
y-
side in each, right? So it can't be this.
Yeah.
How about, are any of the angles right angles?
Nope.
So it can't be this. Okay, for side angle side, you have to have 2 sides marked. I only have 1 side marked in each triangle. So that's out. Okay, so I'm left with angle, side, angle, and angle, angle, side. What do you think?
Probably angle side.
Okay, so
Since
let's try
there's
that.
2 marked angles.
So I have angle. I don't have another angle in a row. So see how I would have to have this angle if I was going to try to do that? I'd have to have 2
Yeah.
angles in a row, so I can't do that. So that's out. Oops, sorry about that. That's out. Okay, so can we get angle? Excuse me, angle, angle. This is out. This is not out. Okay, angle, angle, side is out. How about angle, side, angle?
That would work.
Right,
Either that or
got-
it's not congruent.
but that's right. So angle and this angle, this side, that angle, that works. Okay, so we're going to use angle, side, angle to prove that congruent. Okay, so that brings us to 15. So Charlie, we're looking at 15. What do you think? What can you mark on 15?
Angle, side, angle.
Okay, so my question was, what can you mark? You either have to mark vertical angles or the common side. Do you have a common side?
The 2 angles that have like the top of the triangles to add an angle on it.
No. Mark your common side, okay? So where I put the double hash marks,
Yeah.
that's the common side. So once I have those marked, then try to diagnose it. So what did you say it was?
I said it was angle, side, angle before. Now
So now what do you think?
angle, side, side.
So angle, side is not an option. Okay, so you have to I would list out your options. HL, side, 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 angle, side, angle, side, angle, and angle, angle, side. Those are your options. So what can we eliminate? Do we have 3 sides marked?
Yeah.
Okay, do you see a mark here? Do you see a mark there?
No.
So how are you counting 3 sides marked?
On the bottom, there's 3 sides marked.
No. 1 side is here, right? 1 side, 2 sides. This one's not marked, right? So I don't have 3 sides marked. Do you understand that, Charlie?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can eliminate side, side, side because I don't have 3 sides that are marked. They have to have the same markings to be counted as being equal, okay? So since you have 2 blank ones, you can't use side, side, side. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so let's get rid of that question mark for right now. So
Oh,
you
would
see
it be side angle side?
So let's try that. So side, whoops, sorry. So side, angle, side, that works nicely in the bottom. Side, can't do it. So they don't match up. So I have to say no congruency. Because I'm getting different things in each one. Do you see that? On the
Yeah.
top one, so you were totally correct in saying that this bottom one, that could be side, angle, side, right? We can see that side, angle, side, because I have this common side. The top one, I could do angle, side, side, or side, side, angle, but side, side, angle is not one of my choices, and that's all I can do. So therefore, I would have to say no congruency because I can't get the 2 triangles to match up. Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Okay, that brings us to 16. So Matthew, I'm coming back over to you. What is your thought about 16?
Oh, I just said it was side, side, side.
Yep, so it's side, 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 because you have no angles discussed. So your only option is side, side, side. Good. Okay, that brings us to 17. So Alkani, look at 17. What do you see?
I think it's angle, side, angle.
Okay, where do you have a marked side?
Oh wait, no, never mind. It's HL.
Okay, where do you have a marked side? Are any sides marked?
No.
So if there's no sides marked, even though you are correct to consider it a candidate for HL, but HL requires you to know that this is the same as this and that one of the legs is the same. And since they didn't mark anything and they only gave you really 3 angles, you have to say no congruency because you don't have enough information.
Okay.
Okay, I like that you grabbed HL because that I would have done the same thing. I would have said, okay, it's a right angle. Let me see if I can get HL. But then all of a sudden I look at it and I realize that I only have angles marked and absolutely no sides marked. So therefore I can't do anything because look, for all of these, HL, side, angle, side, 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 angle, side, angle, and angle, angle, side, every single one of those requires that I have a side. This needs 2 sides, 2 sides, 3 sides, 1 side, 1 side. And I have no sides. So therefore I can't use any of them.
Okay.
Okay, good. Okay, so what I want you to do now, I'm going to have you guys do 18, 19, 20, and 21. So let me give you about 10 minutes to think about this. You are also talking only about congruency statements. And the congruency statements I'll write up here for you so you can see them. you are always going to have to label either the common side, mark that equal, or mark vertical angles equal. Okay, so these are the different correspondence congruency statements you can use. So I just need to see the relationship. So, and I will tell you that you're going to have one that has no congruency, and I believe everything else should be able to have a congruency specification of one of these. Okay, so go ahead. I'm going to give you about 10 minutes. So at 11:10, I'll come back on and we'll discuss what you've done. Okay.
Can you scroll back up?
Yep.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Do you want me to leave it there for a sec?
Yes, please.
Okay. So I'm just going to run downstairs and get some water. I'll be right back. So at 11:10, we'll come back together and discuss just these 4 problems. If you are done quickly, go ahead on to the next ones, and we'll be doing those together in just a few minutes. Okay, now dears, so you should have had time to do those 4, and you really should have had time to go on as well. So let's talk about them. So we're doing these guys. Okay, so Charlie, over to you. Tell me about number 18.
For number 18, I got SAS.
Okay, so what angle, I agree with you, what angle did you have to put in? Because there's no angles marked, so you can't get SAS without an angle. So what did you have to add? Because you can add angles to this one.
The angles like intersecting the 2 triangles.
Yes, okay, these are vertical angles. So that's exactly right. So if you do that, that will get you side angle side. Okay, good job. Okay, how about 19? Gina, what's your thought on 19?
Not enough information.
Good. I agree, because we can never label just a random side. So these sides over here, we do not have an idea of their length, and we therefore cannot say that I can have congruency. So I'm going to say not enough info, and my pen is getting glitchy, but we're hoping to do this for a little bit more. Okay, how about 20? So 20, Alkani, what do you think about 20?
For 20, I got HL.
Beautiful. So did you write in the other vertical angle over here, opposite the right angle there? So you have
Yeah.
to put that one in there, and then you are exactly right. You can get HL then, because you have the side opposite, which are the hypotenuses, and then you have a leg. So you got it. Perfect. Okay, how about the last one, Jacob?
The last one, number 21.
21, yes.
I got side, side, side.
Okay, so what did you label? Because you
Um,
put markings on what to help, just to make it
Oh,
clear.
right in the middle, I put 3 lines there.
Beautiful. Okay, so that's the reflexive side. That's the common side. And once you have that, it's apparent. Let me just see if I can get this to mark. Yeah, it's apparent that you can say side, side, side. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so that's really good. So that takes us up to our current material that we had done homework on after we went through the notes. And I think this is it then, right? No. So we have 2 pages of 4.8. Okay, so it is 11:12. So let's go back up for a second. So I'm going to have to get out of this and come back in. And let's look at what they say about 4.8 so that we can talk about it. Just bear with me. Okay, there we go. Okay, so 4.8 is our focus right now. It says use isosceles and equilateral triangles. So remember that if 2 sides of a triangle are congruent, then the angles opposite them are congruent. And you also can, you need to know what base angles are. You need to know what the vertex angle is. And then for equilateral triangles, every time it's equilateral, it's also equiangular. And every equiangular triangle has angles of 60 degrees. So those are the 2 things. Okay, so I'm going to give you 20 minutes. So yeah, 20 minutes to finish this packet. Go for it. And I'm here, but I'm going to be silent because otherwise I'm not going to, you can't think as well. So let me,
Dr. Riley,
yep,
just in case we don't finish it, is it homework?
it is, but we're going to finish it because I want to go over it. And then the homework is still going to be to go back and study this, because we're going to come in the door next class and we're going to have a test on this. And so you have to know all of these little components. So we are fine tuning this right now. And if you do not look back on it, say we finish it, you get to post it, that's great, great, great. That's only part of the deal. Okay, your homework is not just to complete it, because we'll probably do that together, but you have to go back and study it, which means go back, look at each problem and say, okay, do I understand why I did this? Okay, so that's the plan. So I'm going to come back. How about about 11, a little after 11:30? We'll discuss this again. But
Wait, Dr. Riley, what problems are we doing?
the rest of the packet. So all the eight problems, which are, let me tell you exactly, honey bun. So 22, 23, 24, all the way up to 30.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome, because they all relate to equilateral and isosceles triangles.
Wait, are we gonna like go over all this
Yep.
after that?
Yeah, that's my
Okay.
plan. That's why I want to do it about 11:35, and then we'll have some time to go over it before we get to go.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so it's just about 11:30 right now. So why don't we go ahead and start going through this just so we have time to go through all of it. Okay, so let me share my screen. Okay, so for 22, 23, 24, they asked you to find the unknown measure, so that's the question mark. So 22, what do you have? Gina, what do you think?
6.
Yeah, I'd agree. How come you got 6?
Because on the other side it's 6, and then all of the angles are equal.
Right, and if all the angles are equal, then all the sides are equal, and that's why 6 is a good answer. So this is an equilateral triangle. So that's how come you can say it's 6. Okay, how about 23, Matthew?
I said it was 70 degrees because you see that the two sides are equal, so you know the two base angles are equal.
Very good. And I like the fact that you use the term base angles. So it's an isosceles triangle. Okay, how about 24, Evan?
For 24, I got 18
Okay, and how come?
because the opposite side is equal to it. So, and that is labeled as 18. So it's the
Right.
same.
Right, and they're equal because you've got base angles equal, right? With an
Yep.
isosceles triangle. Okay, very good. Okay, so that takes us over to the next page. Okay, and all of these, they want you just to find the value of x. So you're not necessarily solving for the angle, you're just finding the value of x. So what about the first one? Marina, what do you think?
I got x equals 6, but I don't think that's right.
So if x equals 6, then you have all the angles equal 30. If they all equal 30, you only have 90 degrees. So this is an equilateral triangle. So if it's equilateral, it's also going to be equiangular, right?
Yes.
If it's equiangular, then all of the angles have to be exactly the same. Whenever we have that case, how many degrees are in each angle if they have to all add up to 180?
60?
Exactly. So take your 5x, make it equal to 60. Divide by 5, divide by 5. You should get x equal 12. Okay? Because that will give you a 60-degree angle in each of the corners. And then you'll be all set. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, good. So do you know how you got, how come you made the angles 30 degrees? Did you just forget what they were?
I just added all the 10s up for some reason.
Oh, don't add, okay, I'm still glad I asked. So the 10s are the sides, okay? They're not related to the angles. So the angle measurements are inside. So what you could have done is this. You could have made all the angles 5x. Then you could have said 5, 10, 15x equals 180, divide by 15, divide by 15, and that's still going to get you x equals 12. So you can do that either way, but don't pull in the 10s to your calculations, okay?
Okay.
All right, so that brings us to 26. So Charlie, what about 26?
Wait, Dr. Riley.
Yes.
Wait, I'm just wondering, how did you get like can you tell me again how you got like 5x? It was like 60. Like, how'd you get 60?
Because the second I know that I have an equilateral triangle, and I know that because all of the sides are the same, then the angles have to be the same. So all the angles have to sum up to 180. So they each have to be 60 degrees every single time. So that's why I could do this maneuver. Okay, let's say I forgot that. I do see that I have equilateral sides, so I can put 5x in each of the corners and then do this approach. Either way, I'll get the same answer.
Okay.
Okay, but it's the easiest thing to do is to just memorize or memorize in terms of an understanding that if it's equilateral, all the angles have to be the same inside a triangle. And since they have to sum up to 180, they must be 60 degrees each time.
Okay.
Okay, so that's
Because
how
I got
I'm-
like a different answer. That's why.
yeah. So what did you do? Because I was happy to fix Marina's situation where she used the 10. So what did you do? What was your strategy?
I actually like instead of like 5x like 5x equals like 60, I put like 5x equals 10, and so then I divided that, and that's how I got 2.
Well, it sounds like you're connecting the sides also. So don't connect the sides. It's like apples and oranges, okay?
Mhm.
Keep the sides in its own lane, and then keep your angles in their own lane, and don't mix the two. Okay?
Okay.
All right, so that brings me to Charlie. Back to you, 26. What do you think?
I got 87.
How did you get 87?
Yeah, I was kind of confused on that one, but
So tell me what your thoughts are. What kind of triangle is that?
so the degrees is 180, right?
Uh-huh. So what's the top angle going to be?
So I have to like add them up, 60 plus 60, then like another number to equal 180, right?
Uh-huh. So 180 minus 120 equals what?
That'll be another 60.
Yep. So if you know they're all 60, then what kind of triangle is it?
It's an all equilateral.
Uh-huh. And it's equilateral and equiangular. So if you know it's equilateral, what can you set the 2x minus 3 equal to?
60.
Mm-mm. Okay, so you're doing the same thing. Why are you mixing angles and sides? Okay, so if you know it's equiangular, that makes it equilateral. This out here is a side measurement. So take that side measurement and set that side measurement equal to this side measurement. Okay, don't blend the sides with the angles. So you can say 7 has to equal 2x minus 3, because don't all the sides have to be 7?
Yeah.
Okay, so then plus 3, that's 10 equals 2x.
So
Divide by
5.
2. So I'm getting x equals 5. Okay? So keep the angles in their own category. Keep the sides in their own category. Don't combine degrees with side lengths, okay? Okay, Jacob, we go to you for 27. What do you think?
All right, I said x was equal to 3.
And how did you get it?
I got it because it was a so it was well, you can see with the left side there with between x and y, they're the same side as 15.
Right, so they're going to be isosceles triangle,
Yeah,
right?
it's
Because
isosceles.
this has to equal that. So then you must have set 15 equal to 4x plus 3.
Mhm.
And that would get me 12 equals 4x. So therefore, x equals 3. So I agree. Okay, very good. Okay, that brings us to 28. And what kind of triangle do we have for 28? So Quincy, I'm over to you. So what's your strategy for 28?
For 28.
Mm-hmm.
I think I did this wrong because my problem setup was incorrect when I tried to calculate it. I got like not x equals 9. So
Yeah, no. So what
yeah.
what things are you setting equal? What are you noticing? Do you see that this has to equal this? So these two are equal? because it's isosceles triangle.
Yeah.
So 28 equals 9x minus 8 plus
That's
8.
what I did.
Okay, so I think maybe you just made a little math error.
Oh, yeah.
Divide by 9, divide by 9. I'm getting x is 4.
Oh, so the 20 doesn't do anything in this problem.
Right, because the 20 is not going to be the same side length. The 20 is the
Oh.
base, is the base, right? That's the base. And I don't know the vertex angle, but I kind of know that it's not going to be equal, because if it was equal, then wouldn't 28 and 20 be equal? And since they're not,
Yeah.
I only have an isosceles triangle, not an equilateral. Okay?
Yeah, thank you.
then-
That's what.
Yep, that's what you did. Okay, so, 29 is challenging. Who's up for the challenge? Owen, can you do 29?
Sure. I got x equals 8.
Okay, excellent. I got that as well. So tell everybody how you did that.
So basically I just did 180 minus 40 divided by 2 to find the two things
Right,
on
to find
F
the
and
two
D.
base angles. Okay, so you see what Owen's saying? He's very, very clever. They gave us the vertex angle. That takes care of 40 degrees. I still have 140 degrees to divvy up. And Owen said, because I see that this is isosceles, these base angles have to be the same. So divide your 140 by 2 and you get 70 and 70. And then did you set 70 equal to 11x minus 18?
Yeah.
Good. So I'm getting 88 equals 11x. So x is going to be equal to 8. Beautiful. Yeah. Okay, so that's a very, very good problem. Okay, so now looking at number 30. So let's see, Matthew, can you take us through number 30?
Sure. Since you see the two sides are both equal.
Okay,
you
so
know
these
that.
sides are equal.
Yeah, you
Then
then
I know
know. Yeah, those two angles are equal, so you just have 7x plus 5 equals x plus 47.
Okay, so that's going to be 6x equals 42, right? So
Yeah.
x equals 7. Is that what you got?
Yeah, that's what I got.
Okay, beautiful. Okay, so what you want to do, my class, we've pretty much completed this together, but that's only half of your job. Okay, first job was to, do this, and we're going to turn it in. It's due by the start of next class. So that does not mean that you wait till you get here to turn it in. Okay, but if you only just turn it in, you will not do well on this test. What you have to do is study this. Now, today is Thursday. That means that your test is not until Monday. If you do not look at this and study this between now and Monday, you're not going to feel confident going in, and you will not do as well as I know you can do. So I really want you to make a point, whether it's put the message on your cell phone, you have to study this material. And what I would do, if I were you, I would study a little bit of it every day so that you're not cramming. It's not going to eat into your, social life or other academic life, but you will be reinforcing this slowly, which is the best way to get it all in your brain. If while you're doing that, and I really want you to do that, okay, your assignment really is to study, because we've just completed this together. If you run into a glitch, email me. Okay, I wrote all the answers here. So this is all the answers, but I also said, please do not just copy these answers to your review. If one of your answers does not match the answer in the key, you definitely want to rework or rethink the problem. And then if you still do not get the answer in the key, you want to ask me about it. Okay, it's not just about getting answers. It's about understanding the strategy that is required to get the answer. Okay, and that's what you're going to be tested on. You're not going to see these exact same problems, but they're going to be problems that if you can do these and understand them, you will easily be able to do. Okay, so what's our assignment? What do you have to do, Charlie? Charlie? We lose our Charlie. He was just there a second ago. Okay, Charlie, what's the assignment? Okay, Evan, what's the assignment?
Check the work.
Right, and study the procedures, okay? Study your procedures. I'll always give you the words that you need, but you have to be able to understand the concepts, okay? All right, so it's 11.
Dr. Riley,
Yep, honey.
sorry, for 29, sorry, can you explain again, like, how'd you, like, get, like, the whole, like, 140, like, divided by 2?
Oh, because you see how this top angle is 40?
Mm-hmm.
And you see these hash marks? That tells you that this angle has to equal this angle. So if you already
Okay.
have 40 degrees inside the triangle, then you have to have another 140 divvied between these two angles. Since they
Okay.
have to be equal, you can divide the 140 by 2. Because see how 70 plus 70 plus 40 is going to give me 180?
Yeah.
And you see that it's isosceles, so your base angles have to be equal.
Mm-hmm.
So if you know that you've already...
Well, actually, no, I'm a little bit confused again. Can you, like, explain again?
Yeah, so see how these sides are equal?
Yeah.
If these sides are equal, then this angle, which is across from that side, has to equal
Thank you,
this
Dr.
angle, which is across from this side.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So that's why those are going to be the same. And if you know you've already used 40 degrees, then you have 140 degrees left. And you have to divvy it up equally between these two angles. So the way to do that is to divide that by 2.
But is there going to be, like, a problem like this on the
Yes.
test?
Yes.
Because this is kind of, like, confusing me a little bit.
Well, it's the same type of problem as this is, in that once you have equal sides, you have equal angles. So what if this angle was 20 degrees? If this was 20 degrees, then you would have 160 degrees left, right?
Yeah.
And so 160 degrees has to go into these two angles. So then that makes these two angles 80 degrees each.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if this was
Wait, so, like,
100,
at the beginning, you did, like, wait, so, like, at first, did you, like, they did, like, 180, like minus 40, and then...
yes. That's where the 100
And so that...
comes from.
Okay.
Yeah, first step up here would be
And then, wait, and then you get, like, 140?
Yes, minus 40 is going to equal 140. Okay, so then you have 140 degrees left, and since you have 140 degrees left and it has to go equally into the other two angles, you can divide that by 2.
Okay. All right, yes. Sorry, now I get it. I think I get it now.
Okay, and there's a couple of more problems just like this. If you look at the homework in the big chapter test review, so the 4.8 homework, there's some more like this that you can go back over because you have the answers already because we did that together.
Yeah, I was like wondering, like, if I had to do this on a test, like, where I basically, like, had to, like, do the same thing with dividing and everything like that.
Yeah, well, that's how you would do it. You would say, okay, if I have 40 degrees already, that means I have 140 left, and the two angles at the bottom have to be equal. So I divide it by 2, and that gives me the 70 and the 70.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Did you finish your application?
No, I'm not done with it yet. I still need to, like, fill out some things, like, and I also, like, need to work on the essay too. Like,
Okay.
I'm not really, like, doing it by myself. Like, I have, like, a family member of mine. Like, she's like my aunt. She's basically, like, helping me, like, trying, like, with the essay and everything like that. So, but thanks for asking, though.
That sounds good. Yeah. No, I'm happy. I'm so glad that you asked me about that the other day because that was very easy to figure out once we put our heads together, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Well, good luck. Get that done and then apply for it. You're very deserving.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. If you get stuck on this material, just email me. We'll get together again. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye, honey.
Bye.